Here we are, another episode on the best of the best. Therese, who do you have here with you today?
I have a sweet visitor today. See what I did there?
I like that.
I have Rob Lawson from Sweet Ashley's Chocolates here, and he is the best chocolatier out there. So him and his wife, amazing. So Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Rob Lawson. My wife and I own Sweet Ashley's Chocolate in Royersford, Limerick, whatever you want to call it, right on the border.
Right on the border.
We opened up in November of 2005, so we're coming up on our 20th anniversary soon.
Unbelievable.
And the business, Sweet Ashley's, is named after our daughter, who is now 25. Time flies. We actually named the business after her when she was 8 months old. So technically, we've been in business 24 years, but had the store now for almost 20. We started out on Main Street in Royersford. It's been 20 years of ups and downs and
Yep.
all arounds, and the market and COVID. So many things that I thought we would never see and or experience.
Yes. I think it's interesting. We met over 20 years ago and became friends from Rivercrest, right? And
Correct.
then, of course, then the chamber and all the networking groups and all these things that we did, and we just love what they do. And you have so many new products. But I was going to say one thing before we got started. I thought it was interesting what you just said. It's named after your daughter.
Yes.
And that was 20 years ago. And we named a racehorse after our daughter.
That's correct.
20 years ago. We're both coming up on our anniversary at the same time. So see, folks, there's something about naming your child, right?
Absolutely. And the things we do for our kids, you know?
Exactly. I thought that was pretty funny. But why don't you tell them about this one, my daughter's favorite chocolate is Schuylkill MUD.
The Schuylkill MUD.
We got to talk about Schuylkill MUD because we're talking about the best of the best, and this is by far.
Yeah, so Schuylkill MUD is an interesting thing. It's really taken off. It's become, over the years, our most popular piece. Forever, pretzels were our most popular. I'm going to say in the last 2 years, probably the MUD is now surpassed pretzels. It's the best mistake that we ever made.
I love it. Tell us about this mistake.
So we used to make a product. It was a pretzel that had toffee bits on top. But the problem with toffee is if it's exposed to air, it starts to get soft. Now I recently learned that I guess some people like soft toffee. That's not our jam.
Yep.
We like it crunchy. So in an effort to fix that problem, my wife had the idea of dipping the pretzels, putting the toffee on, letting it set up, and then re-dipping to cover the toffee. It created two problems. A, the pretzel piece was entirely too large.
Okay. Yep.
It was a meal at that point, not a snack. But in the meantime, a lot of bits of toffee dropped off into the kettle.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So here she did a run. Now we're looking at a kettle that had, at the time, I mean, it wasn't a ton, but it was like 10 pounds of chocolate in it with all this toffee mixed in. Well, we didn't want to throw it away.
Sure.
So we just started adding things.
And tell us what was in there.
So the Schuylkill MUD, it's a combination of toffee, peanut butter, pretzel, and potato chip.
Oh, God. That sounds so good.
Salty, sweet, and crunchy, covers all the food groups.
Yes, it does. It does.
And it's just taken off. I'm going to say it was probably maybe 10 years ago that we actually trademarked the name. Because in the chocolate world, there's not much you can call your own.
Right.
Everybody makes buttercreams. Everybody makes caramels,
That's right.
Salted caramels. We're the only ones that make Schuylkill MUD.
Schuylkill MUD. I love it. And it's so relatable.
Right. Right now, we're actually in the process of trying to come up with some equipment to help us make more of it faster. Currently, to date, my wife, Connie, she is the only one that makes the mud, and she hand dollops all of it.
Oh my gosh.
And we're talking thousands upon thousands of pounds.
Well, I think we should take a moment to talk about Connie.
Right?
Because she is amazing. She's an amazing businesswoman too, but very creative.
She is. She's definitely the creative force behind it. We wouldn't have any of this without her. because my career was in the golf industry. So far from chocolate.
Yes. Yes.
Now I make a lot of chocolate.
This was her passion.
This was her passion. It was, as the story goes, she just naturally knew how to make chocolate. And it all started when she was in Girl Scouts, I think, and don't hold me to it, I think she was 9 years old or something like that on a Girl Scout trip.
Wow. And that's when it started?
And that's when it all started.
That's crazy.
So it's been a long journey, you know, and then the business kind of evolved from there. Well, flash forward, we got married, had Ashley, and my wife always made chocolate for the holidays for our family as gifts, you know, gift baskets. We were poor.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Very young couple with a child, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of money for gifts, so we figured we'd make everybody their gifts. She was in the restaurant industry at the time, and she got out of the restaurant industry, ended up in pharma, and we had money.
You're like, woo.
So we bought everybody gifts.
And they were like, we want our chocolate.
Everybody was so mad. I have an uncle who's an imposing figure. And Christmas was at his house, and he actually banished us pretty much to
love it. He's like,
to the living room where nobody was because we didn't have his chocolate. So, you know, not long after that, my wife was struggling with some of the corporate things going on. Yep. Got passed up on a couple promotions and wasn't satisfied, we'll say. So we just said, all right, you know what? And at the time, I think we were in our early 30s.
Okay.
We said, if we don't do this now, we may never do it. Obviously, people like it. There's a demand. We got banished at Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good measure.
So we started looking for a store. We saw a spot on Main Street that looked perfect. As fate would have it, our original location on Main Street was actually a candy store in the 50s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Miller's Candies.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of went full circle. We walked in the building. There's scalloped shelves and very much the feel that we were looking for. And when talking to the landlord, whose family had owned the building since the 60s, he informed us that it was a candy store. So we're like, all right, this is meant to be.
It's like meant to be.
This is perfect, you know. As time went on, we grew. Space was getting to be an issue. Parking was a challenge.
Even space for production.
Space for production. Wow, that still hasn't moved.
Okay, still there?
Yeah, that's not on Main Street. Production is actually on Lewis Road.
Okay.
But we decided it's time to move up.
I love it.
So
It's
now we're
it's
in
a
the shopping
success
center.
story.
Well, we're still
Still growing.
growing.
I love it. Is your daughter involved in the business at all? Or?
So Ashley doesn't have a ton of interest in the business. I can say that one thing I would probably change if we had to do it all over again. I don't know that I would open a store with my daughter's name on it within the school district
Yes.
that she goes to school.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids can be tough.
And I think it was a little bit of a turnoff. Now, as she's gotten older, you know, she graduates college finally.
Okay. Nice.
In May 10th, I think.
Oh, that's exciting.
She's starting to come back.
Yeah.
Like she'll help us out behind the scenes.
Okay.
Social media stuff, which is something
Big.
that she's going to school for.
Okay.
And you know, more paperwork, computer type stuff.
All right.
So yeah,
She's getting a little bit of the bug to be part
she's
of the family.
getting a little bit of bug of it, and she also, you know, as our kids mature, she's becoming fully aware that she's been able to do the things that
Yes.
she's able to do because of our business. So, you know,
It helps.
It's coming back.
I like it. Yay, right? That's such a good thing. I saw you brought some chocolates with you.
I did.
We were at an event the last few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for Pope John Paul High School.
Yep.
It was called Savor the Flavor, and you're there every year. You're a great supporter of local businesses,
Thank you.
I must say.
Thank
If
you.
we ever need something for a charity event, you're always there, you know, helping out with a basket or whatever the case may be. Very generous. one of our agents was there, Nettie, and she tried the chocolate that you had there to sample. And you had a bunch of different ones, but the one in particular were chocolate covered almonds with cayenne.
With cayenne.
Oh my God.
So a little bit of heat to them.
So good.
Yeah, a little bit of heat to them. I actually brought some.
And I'll tell you, you told me when you eat one, just wait till it's done. And then when it was finished,
So
you get this little pop of heat.
You get the heat. Now, heat's
So
a relative thing.
Yeah.
So what you and I might think is not too hot,
Somebody else might.
somebody else runs for the
Right, the hills.
the milk, after they eat it. And, that's why I always have people sample this piece in our store.
To make sure.
Well, I'm a big believer. I don't want to sell something that somebody's not going to like.
That's what makes you super successful. I mean, really, because how many people, in this day and age, it's got to be about the consumer. There's so
Absolutely.
many choices, right? People can order online, they can do all kinds of things, but you don't get the service, you don't get the attention to detail, you don't get the care that you just talked about when you order something online. And it's so
Yes.
nice to walk into the store and just see what's there. And I mean, Easter at your store is like Christmas
thanks.
to me. Love it. Oh, you want me to try one
Yes,
of these little
I'd like to try a
suckers?
piece. That's the cayenne almond. So, yeah,
You hear me chewing. Sorry out there, I'm chewing. Oh my goodness, so good.
and then heat'll hit you in a second,
It's not there yet, it's coming.
right?
So good.
Case in point, though, yeah, customer service is a huge thing for us. With my background in the golf industry, that was all about customer service.
Yes.
Being at private clubs and whatnot, and that carries over. My wife in the restaurant industry, same thing, customer service. And our business, let's face it, hinges on people coming back.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a one-time
And telling other people.
deal. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pull anything away from real estate, because I know you try to get repeat business too.
All the
but
time,
people
yep.
aren't buying homes every week.
I wish. It'd be great.
It'd be great, right? In our case, we need those people to come back,
Yes.
on the regular.
Yeah.
We do have our once a year customers, which is fine. That's all good.
But there's so many occasions where people could use chocolate instead of flowers that die and those types of things. So it's a great housewarming gift. There's just so many awesome ways that you could use it. And you have a lot of really awesome ways of packaging things. So you can customize. Maybe
Yes.
talk about that a little bit.
So, yes, we do all of our packaging as well. We do work with box companies that will hot stamp the boxes with logos. We also have a product that a lot of people don't even realize we have it, because maybe I don't do a good enough job of promoting
Well,
it.
you're going to do it right now.
But we actually create our own box tops in-house in full color.
Oh,
We are, as far as I know, we are the only company in the country that subscribed to this product.
okay.
We were at a candy show a number of years ago, and the gentleman was there as a vendor, and he had this product. Essentially, it's almost like, think of like a vehicle wrap,
Okay.
where it's photo paper that's adhesive on the back end of it, but it's die cut to fit our box tops.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I can take any image, pretty much any image, and put it on a box top.
So all my agents that are listening right now.
Oh,
this would be a
absolutely.
Great housewarming present.
And as you
'cause
said, chocolate's the easiest gift out there.
it is, and
know?
and most people like it. I mean, if you don't like
95% of
chocolate, I
Americans-
think you might be weird, but that's
Yes,
okay.
95% of Americans like chocolate.
Yes, and I must say, I had that almond, and you're right. I ate it, and then about maybe 30 seconds later, I started to feel the heat,
Just
in
a
the
little
back
tingle.
of my mouth, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really good. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right? Little fun fact, since we're talking about how stuff dissolves and everything else. Dark chocolate
Yes.
is a tremendous cough suppressant.
You're kidding.
No. We actually just learned it a couple of years ago from the news.
I didn't know that. I'd rather eat that than cough syrup.
And right, tastes a little bit better. And now I know with Connie, whenever she struggles with allergies and stuff, and whenever she has a little bit of a cough, dark chocolate,
I'm glad you told me that. That's an awesome tip.
right?
Yes, that's a great
Right.
tip. So tell everyone where you're located so that they know where your storefront is, where they can come get some chocolate.
So we are at 70 Buckwalter Road. It's the Limerick Square Shopping Center, where we just actually had a new Chipotle
Yes.
added to our shopping center. So Chipotle is right next door to us.
Nice.
We're the first store when you come in the shopping center, kind of face Texas Roadhouse.
It's a really great shopping center.
The shopping center has really come around.
Yes.
When we first opened there, I'm not going to say it was a dead shopping center, but it was struggling a little bit.
It was.
You know, the anchor wasn't there, and you know, now we have the urban air in there, and I think there's only 1 or 2 vacancies.
That's amazing.
When we moved in, I think there was 9.
So it's right off the exit of 422
right off
at
the
Royers
422
Ford.
exit,
So it's
yeah.
so easy to get to. You can pop in there. They always have a great inventory and
Thank
ready
you.
to go. You can also order ahead of time. So if you know what you want, I would suggest doing that because then when you get there, it's all ready.
Yes, so and especially at the holidays, I highly encourage people to do online ordering for in-store pickup, mainly for items that are very specific for the holidays. Easter is probably the best example. We'll say peanut butter eggs.
Yep.
Even though I make thousands of peanut butter eggs, we do run out.
Yep.
And we hit a point in time where we stop making them.
Right. You run out of time.
You know, because I don't want to have too many left over. Unfortunately, even though I might have made a peanut butter egg the day before Easter, and it's good for 6 months, the day after Easter, nobody wants it.
Right. Right.
So we've learned over the years to, you know, what our numbers should be
Okay.
and produce accordingly. However, retail's a fickle thing.
Yep.
You never know when people are coming in,
That's right.
what they're going to buy.
Because people are fickle.
You know, people are fickle, right? So, you know, this year everybody might have bought. This happens a lot between the vanilla cream eggs and the coconut eggs. One year, coconut outsells vanilla. The next year, vanilla outsells coconut. From a manufacturing standpoint, it's a nightmare.
I don't discriminate against any of those 3. I like all of them.
Right?
The peanut butter, the coconut, and the cream. They're
See?
all great.
And that's how it should be.
That's right.
That's how it should be.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Mother's Day's coming.
Mother's Day is coming, and actually I'll use this as an opportunity to blast it out there as well. Bad news is we are going to be closed the day before Mother's Day.
What?
Yeah, that's Saturday before Mother's
Okay.
Day, and it's only because of Ashley's graduation.
Okay.
She's graduating college. We're not going to miss it.
So you have to get your stuff early.
We're encouraging everybody to come in by Friday.
Okay. You have the chocolate covered strawberries, right? Do you do those?
Strawberries we do on an order basis.
Okay.
We do make them all year long, but because the shelf life is only about a day and a half,
Yep.
we just strictly do them by order.
Yeah,
so as long as
listen.
we know by the day before.
Okay. They're so good. You have to try them.
Right?
So
Who
if you
doesn't
like
like a
chocolate
good
covered
berry?
strawberries, they're a great gift for mom. They're a great gift for any holiday,
Yes.
but make sure you order those ahead of time because
Yes.
they do have a smaller shelf life.
It's extremely short. So, but yeah, no. So we're going to be closed that day. However, leading up to it, we'll be open and fully stocked and ready to go. It's you know, I've had my staff. I have a couple staff members that were willing to work that day,
Okay.
and the way my wife and I operate, it potentially can be a very, very busy day, which we're disappointed not to have that. But once again, our kid only graduated
That's right.
college once.
That's right.
And they offered to work that day, and we kind of we made the decision not to.
Okay.
Just because we don't want to set our staff up for
Yeah.
potential failure.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's they're our family, even though they're not blood.
Right. Right.
They've been with us quite some time, and we value them.
Well, that's something that sets you apart as well.
Thank
the
you.
caring level that you both have for the business, for your craft, but for the people that come into your shop and the ones that work for you. I think that is something super special. So how can everybody get in touch with you? Do you have a website?
So the website's www.sweetashleys.com, or you can always give us a call, 610-948-1085.
Rob, thank you so much. The best of the best.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to eat some more of this
Yeah, we
chocolate.
have to have some
Thank you so
almonds.
much. We are signing
Absolutely.
off.